pull that out so I can hear better. Is Trent Goodbody? They let me out of jail. Isn't that nice? Oh, it's saying connection is unstable. Nice. Well, I just wanted to make a video for everybody, kind of telling people what's going on, so I can share like the story, you know. Louis, hey, yeah, I'm out. I didn't have to pay bail either. They just let me go because it's ridiculous. So the reason why I'm not going live on my other channel is because they gave me a copyright strike for, of all things, medical misinformation. So the last thing I want to do is start commenting about any kind of medical procedures. That's not really my thing. But I did get a copyright strike. I can't go live on my other channel, my big channel, for another week. Yeah, I'll get to that, Louis. I can't say too much about the case, but I do want to tell you guys how it started. They're going to try to say that it started oh, I can't read that. I can't read it. Looks like 2015. What do you guys think? Can you see that? The date? December. What is that, an 18? I can't see it, but can you read what this is? Oh, it's backwards? That sucks. I can read it to you. I'm not, you know, the year is so light on here. It could be 15, it could be 16. Uh, but basically, I don't know, it's going to be backwards, but there's little check boxes and stuff. It said, property owner, Pershing County is committed to maintaining quality neighborhoods and an excellent community environment. This is land that was out in the middle of nowhere, by the way. No neighbors, nobody to complain. Our citizens expect us to do everything we can in this regard. We know that this can only be achieved through the cooperation of everyone involved. Well, the following violations of the Pershing County Code were found on your property, which require your immediate attention. And they marked PCDC, which probably means Pershing County 22.30 camping restriction. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm sure it's blurry. My connection is not the best. Is it back? Is that better? I adjusted it just a little bit. Anybody want to? Any? It's bad internet. I'm working on getting some Starlink here soon. This is just really it's bad internet. I'm in a rural area. It might be throttling. I don't know, but I think it's just bad internet. Um, so in this notice back from I think it's 2015 or 16, maybe even 17, they're saying that I did some that someone complained that I was violating the camping restrictions. That doesn't sound very legit, does it? Um, yeah, but I made I found out about this thing going on with these properties out in Pershing County that has to do with this camping restriction thing. Um, I'm not sure. We'll talk about that. Let me get through this first. Camping restrictions. See, okay, I bought the land, I put the down payment, I started making monthly payments, agreed to a price, and shortly thereafter, after I thought I could live there off grid and be cool, apparently I was wrong because they started doing this, sending me these notices and coming out to the land and complaining, saying that there was somebody complaining about me being there longer than 14 days, which I find extremely hard to believe that anyone would complain about someone being on any land that wasn't theirs for longer than 14 days. You see where I'm going? It doesn't make sense. What it looks like to me is they're trying to run people off their land. The seller will sell the land to the buyer and they will make a down payment. Oh crap, internet stay unstable. So the seller will sell the land to the buyer. The buyer will make a down payment, couple grand, maybe get into a payment plan of 200 to 400 bucks a month, and they think that they could go there and just live off grid. And they start setting up camp, and code enforcement comes around and tells them that there's been a complaint and they're not allowed to be there more than 14 days twice a year. Okay, and they ramp up the enforcement on these. They fly an airplane around, with binoculars looking out the windows. It becomes really, really. I don't know. I think they've been doing this for a while, and they do it to quite a few. There's nobody living out there, you know. Okay, but it seems like the land turns over quite a bit ownership. And the guy who sold me the land even admitted to selling it at least once prior to selling it to me, where this happened. So if they sold it at least once before selling it to me, he sold it at least once. He could have sold it 10 times before he sold it to me. I got him to admit to selling it at least once before I was the buyer in this predicament. And when I told him about this, he seemed to be informed already and willing to make a deal, willing to sell it real cheap, because he was amazed when I said, "Oh, I will deal with code enforcement," because I think he said that I wanted to work with them and stuff about septic and all this stuff, and I think they threatened me with a crime for not having a septic system as well. But it wasn't about the 14-day thing until afterwards. You know what I mean? It's like that was their ace in the hole. So, long story short, we get into it back and forth. But I can't. That's about all I can say about the case because it's ongoing. But what I did want to talk to you tonight about was how it went from the initial arrest. Did any of you guys? It says it's unstable. I'm gonna wait a second. Did any of you guys see Did any of you see the arrest video? Bouncing around with me. Oh yeah, my dogs don't like uniforms. Uh-oh. Looks like I got dueling. Yeah, my dogs don't like uniforms. Um, okay, so if you saw the video, you'll remember that they didn't tell me why they were arresting me. They just said felonies, felonies. I should have been saying fraud. You know, even if I did fit into their category, uh, the thing is, I'm a man. I don't like labels, titles, descriptions. You know, so if they were to call me a felon, and I were to not deny it, I would always deny it, because what if in my record book you were a little bitch, and that's how I had to refer to you every day, all the time? You wouldn't have to accept that title from me, would you? Unless you wanted to degrade yourself. So let this be a something to pay attention to. If someone wants to call you a felon, you have to agree to it. I mean, you do not deserve to apply a label to yourself, especially a degrading label that puts you in a category of less than human. Okay? I just needed to say that to you guys. So anyway, they didn't. They flashed a search warrant in front of me, but they didn't let me read it. They didn't even let me hardly look at it. You know, they didn't have an arrest warrant that they showed me at all. However, after quite a bit of hooting and hollering, they did end up giving me an arrest warrant, which had no affidavit attached. And it was not signed. And the one who did the complaint for the warrant, here it is. And I'm sorry about this being backwards again, but see how it says warrant for arrest, warrant of arrest, Lake Township. They're alleging felonies. Yeah, well, notice there's no signature at all. There's no affidavit attached. The name of the, let's see, a complaint upon oath having been laid before me by who? Right here. S dot. Who's S dot? Is your name just one letter with the period after it? I mean, are you allowed to use abbreviations? When they're using these capitalized terms for my name, all caps, right here. My name's all spelled out, all caps. It's being capitalized on. Exactly, it's just a piece of paper. So that's what they gave me when I demanded that they tell me why I was being arrested. Yeah, Banks. Isn't that funny how that's the name? Anyway, they served a search warrant. Oop. And according to the search warrant, they wanted all of my, it says here, specifically cell phones, computers, tablets, and any other devices used to access the internet and upload and store content. Any and all recording devices used to record audio or video recordings, thumb drives, exterior drives, or any other digital storage devices, photos, documents, mail, or other items of identification, notebooks, documents, or personal writings related to the violation 6620 and they're saying I'm concealing this property that's allegedly. But let me give you a few. I left the premises here, uh, or actually maybe even just shortly before. Hey, what's up, bonehead? Good to be here. Uh, they put me in these belly chains, handcuffed, and then took me over to, I think his name's Chidley's truck, and transported me to Nye County. And I tried to get Chidley to talk to me a little bit on the way there. He wasn't saying much, so I did say some stuff. I'm going to try to get the footage from that, and then we got to the Nye County detention facility, and they took my picture, and when they were about to do it, I told them, I'm not giving you my picture. Hey, press on, what's up? I told them, I'm not giving you my picture, you're taking it. You know what I mean? So yeah, and then they all started pressuring me. Um, but they started pressuring me COVID style, asking me all these COVID questions, and they wanted to give me a COVID test. And I was like, how do I know it's not contaminated? And they had it in like this uh, cellophane wrapped thing with little vial and a little uh, cotton swab thing, all wrapped all nice and everything. And I'm all, how do I know that's not contaminated? You know, are you planning on putting that right next to my blood brain barrier? You know, right there at my nasal cavity? And he's like, oh, I don't go too far. You know, like, okay, well, so what's too far? You know what I mean? And how do I know it doesn't have nanotech on the end of it? Going to turn me into a nanotech, uh, bio, whatever, experiments. I'm not trying. I'm not scared of getting sick. So I successfully turned that down. Ah, it's saying the internet connection is unstable. So they wanted me to take a COVID test. I told them no, and so they brought out the mask, and they were like, "We just wear a mask while you're out here with us." And there were like these four other cops all wearing masks, and I was like, well, "I'm not scared to know getting sick. I got a good immune system. Like, I don't need a mask. You guys are all wearing masks already. What are you scared of? You know what I mean?" So that kind of messed them up with their argument there. But they still really hadn't told me why I was there. And then Chidley comes back in, and he said, here's your charges. And I went off on him a little bit because I got a video of him saying, I'm the fucking best at what I do. And I let him hear that. I was like, yeah, you're the fucking best at what you do. And I said, I'm not too bad myself. And he said, well, your friends got your dogs and they didn't go to animal control, and I don't appreciate you lying to me. And I didn't know what he was talking about at that time. I still don't even know. Hey, Matt, what's up? Uh, but I said, I never intended to lie to you. And if you feel like I lied to you, I apologize or whatever. So as he was walking out the door, leaving me with all these masked thugs, trying to shove stuff in me and test me and trying to shoot me with laser beams and stuff, and take my blood pressure while they got a light shining right in my face, interrogating me. They want to know if my blood pressure's all right, if my pulse is low in the 70s. Yeah, yeah, like that's gonna happen. But so then they put me in the cell, and I think that I terminated the booking process, or I hindered it. I made it. I wouldn't. I wasn't participating anymore, so they kind of stopped it. Yeah, and they threw me in a cell and let me hang out for a while. And we're in Nye County. uh, yeah, so anyway, it gets to be about midnight, and I'm pissed. I'm about to disturb everybody unless you guys make me calm down and quiet me down. And this that has it's just a bunch of naked claims, you know. So alleging that I committed felonies by uploading a video of a conversation that I intercepted on wire communications or some kind of crazy rules, NRS rules for employees of some corporation that I don't even work for, and they can't even prove that I work for them. I mean, I challenge them to show me a pay stub or even where I've even applied to have their identification credentials. I don't do that. And I'm not a resident because resident always means resident alien, and a resident, like a surgeon in a hospital. He's just there for a period of time, but he's not from there. So what we say when we're residents of Nevada and U.S. citizens is that we are not from Nevada, but we're just residing in Nevada temporarily as a resident alien, but we're really from the United States, you know, 10 square miles of D.C., United States citizen, District of. Dun, 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 dun. I don't wear this because I'm trying to promote mind control and enslavement of humanity, but it's a good brand, and I get deals on these clothes, so, and they're comfortable, so I buy them. But anyway, back to the internet connection went unstable. So anyway, they gave me that piece of paper, and I kind of was cool after that. And then a couple days later, on Friday, see, I was arrested on Wednesday the 14th, April 14th. On Friday the 16th, right shortly after lunch, which was probably 11:30, Nevada Highway Patrol came and got me and transported me north to Pershing County from Nye County Detention Facility in Tonopah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't get into that yet. I want to, but I'm staying on the safe side. I'm making these live streams, and they will watch them, but I don't want to give away any of my defense or anything. So they're claiming that I published them. Yeah. So I had a nice talk with the NHP officer on the way to Pershing County. He told me some things. He said that police have discretion, and we talked about the George Floyd, Derek Chauvin thing, and it was just before the verdict came out. They hadn't done closing arguments yet, but they were about to, or they were doing that all Friday, weren't they? Um, and like Monday, I think too. But he transported me. He told me that cops have discretion. So if you're question, he, of course, the connection. They have discretion to arrest you or not, depending on how your behavior is. And I know that sounds like, oh, I don't want to be, they're less than human. I don't want to treat them like shit or whatever. But they have discretion, which means he told me he has the discretion on driver's license and registration and plates. He can let you go with nothing on those. But he has been getting pressured by the brass to write tickets for not having insurance. So, but that's racketeering. And every time I've had been charged with any kind of failure to carry insurance or whatever, they never have proceeded with it when I challenge them because it's racketeering. And the judge knows that if he's forcing you to buy a product, that's wrong. So we talked about a bunch of other stuff. Let's see what else. The Derek Chauvin thing, how in Nevada now, They used to have you sign the citation, but in the past 2 years, they've made it so you don't have to sign the citation anymore. You just take it and you're responsible for it. No signature. Whoa, earthquake! No, I'm just kidding. Uh, so that was interesting that you don't have to sign a citation in Nevada anymore, and they have discretion on a lot of things, but they have less tolerance on. Oh yeah, I know you don't have to have a license to have insurance, and I'm contemplating getting it myself. But I'd like to assume full commercial liability for my actions, at all times on the roads. And I can see where accidents happen that are out of my control, so I get it. It goes both ways and stuff. And at least they're compromising on a bunch of the issues. But he also told me that chokeholds are not allowed in Nevada anymore. That's something new. What else did he say? He said, um, oh yeah, in Las Vegas in particular, when you get a traffic citation, they don't put the dollar amount on the citation anymore. You have to go look it up online because too many people were getting sticker shock and wanted to really duke it out right there about the price of the ticket when it can be considered negotiable. So we had a real nice conversation on the way to Pershing County, and then I got to Pershing County, and they were all pretty hospitable too. Um, but there were some problems. I didn't. They wouldn't. The first guy, the officer that booked me in first thing at Pershing County, Christensen, he was pretty cool, and he did what he could to accommodate me, which was awesome. He actually gave me a pencil that I was supposed to pay for and didn't charge me for it, so that was cool. And he gave me 2 sheets of paper. Yeah, I know, Matt. Huh? So I got 2 sheets of paper and a pencil. Internet connection is unstable. It says. I got 2 sheets of paper and a pencil, and I started writing things down like a statement of facts and stuff like this, trying to just get ready, thinking about affidavits, with failure to, rebut these statements within a certain period of time, results in satisfaction in the court of all claims, kind of thing. And nobis maybe, and maybe habeas corpus, and a habeas corpus not in the way that you would normally think. It's a habeas corpus not in the way that you would normally think, but a habeas corpus demanding them to produce the body of the defendant, not the plaintiff, because they always try to charge in the name of the state of something to some total fiction. So why not demand they produce the body of the plaintiff? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, time goes on, and I ask for paper in their little computer uh, kite system, where you can send little kites on the computer. I sent in a request for 5 things. I said I needed a KJV Bible. I needed 10 sheets of paper. I needed some envelopes. I needed that copy of the warrant that they gave me in Nye County, and I demand to be seen by a magistrate immediately. And this demand, I have to do it. The other things that I'm asking for, it's up. Ah, The other things that I'm asking for, it's up to them to provide. They make it or break it depending on why. Why? They make it. How is it working? Is it just spinning circles? Crap. Now it's been so long that I don't even remember where I was. Uh, oh yeah, I was requesting 5 things, and I said you could charge me for the paper, you could charge me for the envelopes. I don't care. Take it out of the money that's on my books, you know, and no paper. So then I filed a grievance in the little kite system, and I said some choice things to the lady. Uh, she pulled me out, and I think her body cam was on when I said this stuff, but I said several things. I said things like, "I'm not a mister, I'm a master, and you're a servant," and she's like, "I'm not your servant," and I'm like, "I didn't say you were my servant. I said you were a servant, a public servant that's sworn an oath to demonstrate how any NRS is applicable to me, seeing as how I is it working? I was saying I admonish you to demonstrate how any NRS is applicable to me, seeing as how I don't have I'm not on the payroll. I don't get a I don't get paid to be following statute. And there were several other choice things I said to her, but nothing really offensive or threatening or mean. But she did say that she didn't appreciate my tone. And I can accept that. And later on, I apologized for her tone. And then I asked for an extra mattress because my back was all messed up. And they gave me an extra mattress, but they still never gave me any paper. And it was very interesting because the day before I went to court, I had my sister call the clerk and ask what time my court date was, or the court date for the name anyway. And they said that the court date was at 2:30 on 4/20, and so I was all like, "All right." And the next morning, I woke up, got up for breakfast, had a couple bites of oatmeal at like 6:30 when they served the breakfast tray, and then I went back to bed and went to sleep until like 9:15. Got up at 9:15, just I don't even know why, and took a shower. And then right as soon as I was getting ready, they're like, "Good body, time for court." So I went to court, and I had been exercising my imagination. They had an amazing book in the jail that was on the book list in there. It was Neville Goddard, called Awakening Imagination, and I read that book, and that is what helped me determine how things were going to go. And basically, God just said, you know, how do you want this to go? Whatever you desire, imagine yourself already having been passed through it, and you will manifest your desire. Just don't resist it, is what he said. Just you don't have to resist it. Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah. Um. So they pulled me out to go to court, and so the cop starts measuring me for belly chains, and they're not big enough, so I lucked out. And then he starts pulling out the ankle bracelets, and I'm like, you guys, you don't got to use no ankle bracelets on me. I'm not a flight risk. I've broken both my legs. I broke the femur of my right knee, the biggest bone in my body, lower leg. I shattered my femur lengthwise, and the surgeon spent 5 hours picking bone fragments out of my knee. And yeah, I'm not going to get very far if I get away from you, and I'm not even going to try to do that anyway. So he asked me, do you need to, are you okay with stairs? And I'm like, the less stairs, the better. But so then he decides not to do the ankle bracelets, which is cool. And then he asks his his associate cop if he has a pair of larger handcuffs. So they aren't the kind that dig into your wrist. Anyway, he asked his associate for a pair of bigger handcuffs, so they wouldn't dig into my wrist right here, for being too small, and that was nice. And then they didn't do belly chain or ankle bracelets. They just handcuffed me like this to go to court, which I believe says something. If you're dragged in there and all kinds of bondage and chains and stuff hanging from you everywhere, you're not looking like you're. As far as I'm concerned, at least I didn't have to have all of the chains on. You know what I mean? So we get into the court, and I don't want to say too much about it, but I will say some things about it. There's a guy sitting in there in the courtroom next to me, and he's all, okay, so what do you want to do? Do you want option number one? Do you want a public defender? Do you want a do you want to retain your own attorney? Do you want to be your own attorney? And I said, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. And he's all, okay, well, I'll just sit here then, and we'll see what how it goes. It was almost like he was like, can I be your attorney? Can I be your attorney? And I was indifferent because I've had mixed experiences with attorneys in the past, and we all know about corpus juris secundum, chapter 7, book 7, chapter 7, chapter 4, book 7, chapter 4, whatever it is, where it says the attorney or the client is a ward of the state and unsound mind, infant, all this stuff. Everybody knows all that stuff about attorneys. So I'm skeptical, hesitant at best, and with attorneys. So wasn't making any commitments at that time. And the judge comes in, all rise, blah blah blah. I'm not sure. I think I did stand up. I probably shouldn't have. Uh, I might have. I don't know. And then he says some stuff about my name, the name. He says, I forget exactly how he said it. Something about a name, and then I told him that, well, I've been known to use that name. And he says, is it spelled right? And I'm like, I don't know. It's styled improperly because usually when I spell it, It has a capital letter on the first letter of each word of the name, and then lowercase. And here it's been capitalized on, you know. So yeah, I know. I could shit all over myself all day, but what God told me was not to resist. So I didn't resist. So anyway, the thing gets started. The prosecutor starts going on and on about how I've been under investigation by the FBI for 2 years now, and that I have 20 something different phone numbers, or I've had 20 something different phone numbers and 30 some odd different email addresses. I'm a multimedia professional. I'm going to have a lot of email addresses. And the phone number thing is just because I just go through phones like crazy. So it's not, talking about FBI title. And the guy who wanted to be my attorney puts the brakes on. He's all, I object, Your Honor. What people do on Facebook is not something that is in. Oh, crap. How long was I out? Anyway, he gets to this point where he's talking about Facebook, blah, 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 and how I'm inciting all this revolutionary stuff. And the guy who wanted to be my attorney says, I object, Your Honor. What people do on Facebook is not something that this guy is responsible for, you know? And at that point, I was amazed. Oh, before that, when this guy was going on about all this stuff, I asked him for paper, you know? And he gave me a sheet of paper, and I start writing things down, like I bought 40 acres in Pershing County, and I love Nevada. I don't want to leave. I'm a multimedia professional, all this stuff. Writing notes for him to make his job easier that he was able to use to talk. I was letting him talk for me. We were kind of doing it together. I hadn't made any commitment at that point, so we get through all this stuff, and finally it's time for the guy who wants to be my attorney to speak, and he did a really good job. He's a rural. He's out here in the rural area. He's told me that he has similar views. He said that I can fire him anytime I want. He said that without me even asking, he offered me copies of discovery. Man, I have never heard of an attorney like this. And then he spoke, and he made these arguments that were very, very good. So good, as a matter of fact, that the judge said that he was inclined to just let me go without paying any bail. After the other guy said that the bail was $12,500, multiple felonies, gross misdemeanor, intimidation. Sounds really awful, you know. And as a matter of fact, it was determined that I didn't have to pay bail. I didn't have to bail out. I didn't even have to enter a plea yet. I'm going to enter I'm not saying I'm going to enter a plea because I'm innocent, right? And because you can never prove a double negative. But in a couple weeks, there's another court date, and where they have to show some evidence, see if there's even enough evidence to be charging me with this crap. So I have to travel up there, and they said that I am not for fraud. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Whatever. I don't drink. I'm. They said that I can get traffic violations though, so and it won't affect the case. So I can still travel, and I'm going to travel. As a matter of fact, I should have safe passage on my way to and from court. So I am going to be live streaming to and from court. Um, these cops stole a lot of stuff from me. Multiple laptops, both my phones. I had to buy this phone right when I got out. Um, and I'm not asking for money, but I'm asking for your support in maybe sharing this video and thumbs up if you can. If you want to support financially, I don't have any plans of paying for an attorney, but all this stuff that was stolen, I mean, monetary value is something, but the value that cannot be brought back, all of my everything, you know. Yes, I need to get video from the court proceedings. I need to get video from the time in jail, from the transport. I want video from everything. It will be good for the channel. It'll be good for people to see my interactions and how we can do what we need to do without I don't know. It's We can do what we need to do without having to fight the whole time. God told me not to resist and to just manifest what I needed to do. Yeah, they're supposed to give it back after the case is done or something, and it depends, I guess, how far it goes, how far they want to push it. I'm ready to go to jury trial over this. Pumped up, they're charging me with interception and attempted interception of one. I would admonish them to show me how any NRS is applicable to me. I would admonish them to show me how any NRS is applicable to me. I never agreed to their codes, and I don't get paid to adhere to them. But then they also included threatening a public officer, which is communicating the intent in the future to cause bodily injury to any person or to do any other act which is not authorized by law. I don't believe I ever threatened anybody with bodily harm or something that uh, isn't authorized by law. No, I told them that if they were misuse of information could be identity theft. It may be identity theft, and as such is a felony. So yeah. So I got back to the jail. Shit, 100%. Uh, and this was the part that made me the happiest. The guy who transported me to jail, the cop, he said, "Hey, so I noticed you said some stuff about like it's you've been known to use that name and the styling was different." And I'm all, "Yeah," and I pointed to the name on the document. I said, "This has been capitalized on." But I didn't go too much more into it than that. I said maybe I'll have a chance to help you guys see what's going on a little better in the future. Not that I want to go back there, but they were interested in learning, which means a lot because when you think about it, we need them on our side. When it comes down to it, we're going to need the cops on our side. So right now we need to spend as much time helping them learn. And I'm not saying they all will even be able to learn, but those who can, we need to try to help them to do the right thing because they will be our advocates when the time comes. So yeah, and it's like it's training. It's all training. I have these notes on my wall here, uh, just little like reminders for life, and one of them says, "It's only what you do in the arena that counts. Armchair faith will never move mountains. The more you resent, the more you will have to resent. Find your kingpin." Loggers would know what a kingpin is. A kingpin is a log jamming up all the logs from coming down the river. You gotta find your kingpin and get it out of the way so you can have things flowing fluidly. And the other one on here is live in the fourth dimension. And I don't know. Neville Goddard, Florence Scovel Shinn. Those are some good authors. If you want to know more about what I'm talking about with this kind of manifestation, law of attraction, uh, uh, you know, just being really in control of your reality, in essence. Uh, so he was interested in learning, and this officer, he had one brown eye and one blue eye, and that was just so interesting to me. And I asked him, do you have two different colored eyes?" And I said, "Do you see different when you cover one and look through the other one?" And he's all, "Yeah, well, no, I'm blinded both pretty equally." But yeah, that's interesting. I don't know, I thought that was fascinating. But anyway, they released me without having to pay bail, without having to enter a plea. The my captors were relatively reasonable. They didn't give me paper when I'll say that I requested paper, but I demanded to be brought in front of a magistrate at least 5 times, at least 3 times in that one conversation with them. Yeah, what I don't know what kind of bond it was. They just said we're letting you go, and I said okay. You know, I don't think I signed anything to that effect, but I probably did. I don't know. Uh, ARR UCC 1-308, all rights reserved. Under duress, threat, coercion, kind of thing. Running with. Wow, unstable, really? So, I'm fairly certain that these are just trash charges and that I can totally beat them in a jury trial. And I feel like I want to have that opportunity to just really make this publicized. I also talked to my buddy Dan in LA that is works for a producer for Fox, and he's interested in parts of the story like the land thing that I talked about at first with the getting people in there and then running them off, and then the seller gets to keep all the money, that the down payment and stuff, because code enforcement just got him to run off. And I was willing to stand up to code enforcement and not run away, so I got a deal. But how many other people has this happened to? Who knows? I mean, probably a lot, I'm thinking, because people don't want to mess with the cops. They'll just ditch when the cops start messing with them. But not me. I didn't run, I'm not trying to escape or nothing. I'm going to handle it head on. And the thing about when these cops came, there are boxes around here with thousands of these stickers, thousands of stickers, like, you know, every stop is a custodial arrest. Exactly which freedoms do you deserve to have without ever having to stand up for them? You know, uh, when our public servants violate their oaths, it's time for us to hold them accountable. Just all kinds of. I've been trying to work on getting the stuff cleaned up all day and get access back to my accounts, and it's really just the hugest headache I can ever imagine, and the most damaging thing that they could have done to my livelihood. They are really thousands of dollars, more than thousands of dollars worth of just property, let alone intellectual damage and damage to. Hello, is it working yet? Hmm. Come on. Come on. Yeah, we're gonna get this. Yes, on Discovery. Totally. He already offered me a copy of Discovery, and I want to get all the videos from everybody as well. Booking videos, etc., etc. Um. Okay, well, this is an hour, and I keep having these freeze up stuff. I'm gonna see if I can make a better uh, quality video next time that doesn't have as many problems. But I wanted to get you guys up to speed and let you know that I'm safe. I'm here. The cop, although he's doing lots of activity around here, doesn't seem to be wanting to do anything as far as messing with me anymore, and I appreciate that. So that's what's up, and uh, yes, cross examinations. This whole thing is going to be great. It's to me, it's just going to and more of it. Hey, squirrel, what's up? I'm out. Unfortunately, it seems like my connection is not very stable, but I've been giving an update for about an hour now. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm. Yeah. Yep. Lots going on. So yeah, at least I'm out. They took all of my devices, my laptops, my tablets, my phones, everything, hard drives, thumb drives, all the drives they could find. Search warrant. They cleaned me out. It's pretty messed up. I don't even have a laptop to use, but I did order one, and it is on its way. And I will get stuff caught up here in just a day or two. If you can be patient with me, I really appreciate it. And I will get everything done as soon as I can. Yeah, there's some really I don't know. They after this case is over, I'm supposed to get it back. I don't think they're supposed to be keeping it. But what if they plant something on there or something? I don't know what their intention is or what. I know I'm not doing anything that I consider wrong. I don't look at things as illegal or legal, but I look at things as right and wrong, and I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. So, yeah. Uh I think that's all I have for now. Uh I've been so busy today cleaning my stuff up and trying to get access back to YouTube accounts and bank accounts and all kinds of different, like not Facebook, but my phone. I had to change my phone number back so I could have, Google make it so I could log in. I got a strike on my Freedom from Government channel for medical misinformation. Can you believe that? Because of some crap I said on a live stream. And I told them that I am no medical professional and I cannot be relied on for medical information. And if I was commenting on vaccines, it was like, oh crap, I can't be talking like this. I'm going to do it to myself on this channel too. But if me talking about medical stuff is just sarcasm or comedy or Satire. It's not. I am not a medical professional, and you should by no means listen to me about anything health related. Please do not. That is not what I ever want to talk about for you to take seriously. Yeah, man, keeps giving me the circle. Okay, well, I'm going to get going, you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Next time, I'm going to try to have a better signal. I did get my service. I just bought a year of service on my phone that connects to YouTube, and I got that transferred over. The people at the phone company were great, uh, and it's awesome. Hey, Green Stash, what's up? Good to see you. I got an unstable connection, but hey, what's up? You have rights. Good to see you here too. Just kind of telling everybody. Oh yeah, right on. That's awesome. I'm free, uh, but they want me to come back and face some allegations. You know, if you want, yeah, everybody. I'm not sure that I have anybody's numbers anymore because new phone, new just transferred over. So if you want me to have your phone number, including my future self, who calls me every once in a while. Sorry for all the circles, guys. I'm going to get going. Have a nice night, everybody, and peace. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.